Well, the country is struggling, but Washington is booming. Washington, D.C. running a $417 million budget surplus. Big government is big business for the district. Washington watcher Hadley Heath, Ron Meyer, and Michael Linden are here now. Ron, now you say D.C. is doing well because it's actually spending other people's money.
Exactly. They're spending all of our money. D.C. has basically become the bottom of a funnel, and they've created the country as a funnel, right? So all of our money is just falling down to them. The fact of the matter is D.C. has become a boom town. 7 of the 8 surrounding counties around D.C. are the wealthiest counties in America. The top 3 countries in America for wealth are right here around the district. The fact of the matter is it's exactly that. It's become a money suck from the private sector, a money suck from people who need to be creating jobs. That's nothing against public servants, but the fact of the matter is that politicians are taking our money, our hard-earned dollars, and we're spending at a record pace. We just had another tax hike. We're going to see more tax hikes down the road. It's not a good system. It's not a good way of life for America to have D.C. be doing great, everyone else doing poorly.
Now, Michael, you don't disagree necessarily with the economic data, but you think the reasoning is all different.
Well, I just don't see it in the numbers. I mean, federal spending is actually down over the last 3 years. The number of federal employees are down over the last 3 years. So, and in that time, the DC city budget has gone from in the red to in the black. So, it's not about the federal government funneling money into the district. It's about the district raise taxes. Yes, I know that's uncomfortable for people, but it also cuts spending. And a lot of people are moving into the district, despite those high taxes, apparently. That doesn't seem to be dissuading anybody. So this is not really a story of the federal government in the D.C. There's not really any there.
Okay, Hadley, I got to tell you, he may not see it in the numbers, but last time I was in D.C. a week or so ago, I saw it outside in the street. I mean, it looked like a mini Dubai. Cranes everywhere, and something is attracting people, and it's got to be this growing government and a pretty lavish pay that they're getting.
Right, Charles. Well, people are moving to Washington, D.C. for jobs, and it may not necessarily be a federal government job, but when the economy is booming there, that's why people are moving there. You are probably walking around a more elite neighborhood, but I'm a D.C. resident, and I can tell you it's a bifurcated place, just like the rest of our country. There is a growing elite, and many of them are federal government workers, but there's also a 25% poverty rate, and this is the result of progressive policies over the last few decades that are punishing people and actually choking off opportunities.
You know, and we probably end up doing a segment on that later, but I do find these places that raise taxes and complain about income inequality have the biggest income inequality in the country. But I want to get back to you on this, though, Ron. When do you think it stops? Because we've got another 4 years of this. The president was unabashed in his role or his goal for a gigantic government, an all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful government, and he's going to have to fund that.
Well, and Charles, does it matter at all that those numbers don't add up with what you're saying? You're just saying stuff, even though, as I said, the numbers don't support that. Does that matter to you at all?
No, well, hold on one second. You know what matters to me is we've got 3 guests, and respect everyone. Let Ron speak, and then if you've got an opinion based on a certain set of numbers, you'll get a chance to speak. Because believe me, all your numbers someone can come up with counter numbers.
Charles, here's a number.
Yeah,
here's
fake numbers versus real numbers. I know.
All right. Are we actually going to have a conversation? All right. 3rd highest income inequality in the country is right here in the district. They're trying big government right here. You can't say there's not big government in D.C., and we have the 3rd highest income inequality, and it's unacceptable. The fact of the matter is, as a Virginia resident, I can say they're sucking money from us, even good federal workers. The fact of the matter is, you come to the district, and you're right, everything is taxed, but we have to work here because this is the only place where the jobs are, because they're sucking all the money. And the fact is, they have this surplus, right? D.C. has a surplus now. As a Virginia, let me say something. How about you help build some roads around here? How about you help actually build some decent roads into the city so we can actually get into D.C. to work? That's a big problem.
Ron, I'm going to go to you now. Ron, I'm going to go to you now. We've got less than a minute. Save a little time. Go ahead. Michael, I'm sorry. Go to you, Michael.
Well, look, I agree with Ron. We should spend some of that money. There's a surplus in D.C. Spend some money on better services. So do we address that income inequality? Build some roads. I'm for that. Government investment does create jobs. D.C. is an example of that.
But the bottom line, though, Hadley, is that D.C. This money did come from the pockets of Americans all around this country who are struggling. You know, and at some point, there's something wrong with that picture.
Right. Well, the rest of the country is responding to a marketplace where we have had a lot of trouble. We went through a serious financial crisis, a recession. People are still trying to recover from that. A lot of private debt across the country, people struggling to make ends meet. But much of the federal government activity, any government activity, we know it doesn't respond to market incentives in the same way. There's actually an incentive for it to grow. It's totally convoluted and on its head.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Guys, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. See you soon. Hey, BlackBerry shares, they're getting crushed after announcing